Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. Today we are in our favorite, lovely, sunny and hot with 30 degrees today, Benidorm town. And as promised, we will show you how much do the properties on the Levante Beach cost, which ones are more recommended for an investment, and if it's a good idea to even buy a property on the Levante Beach. So desired place, such a desired place right next to the beach. Let's go and explore it. We start today's video more or less on the slightly more than a half of the Levante Beach towards the old town that you can see right there in front. All this area, the Levante Beach, this is the first line of it. Obviously, just look at how the beach is looking like today. By the way, it's Sunday, it's the same day you're seeing this video, so it's almost as if it would be live from Benidorm town. On the beach you have quite a lot of services. It's not only for tourists but also for those of you who are coming here to retire and live the whole year round, or spend at least a few months out here. There is a library where you can play chess, you can play different games, you can read some books, fresh newspapers. There's the area for children too, so it's a great place to be. The important thing to know about the properties on the Levante Beach is that when you see all of them on different websites, like for example Idealista, Fotocasa, etc., or different real estate agencies, what they show you is that this is Playa de Levante, but it doesn't mean that it's right on the front line of the Levante Beach on this one. No, it can also count as the second line, which is the Mediterranean Avenue that's right there in front of us. And it can also count even up until third line. The higher buildings still can have sea views, so, and technically it is true, it's located on the Levante Beach side, not on Poniente one. So a lot of people put this name to attract people to see their property, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be right here. You will find here below the prices for different apartments that we have here on the Levante side, on the Levante Beach. Some of them will be on the first or the second line that will be specified. The others in some of the best buildings right here. What about the investment? A lot of people think, well, I'm trying and planning to buy some kind of property here in Benidorm, maybe not for right now for me to live in, but I'll use it as a short-term rental and then I'll just come here whenever I will need to retire. The important thing to know about this is there are different properties. For example, studios, 1-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom apartments, and up till 4 bedrooms. 5, it's really uncommon, and it's like a rare thing to see. And people say, well, I'll just buy a studio or a 1-bedroom apartment, I'll rent it out and then I'll come here and retire. When you search a property, and if you're thinking of investing in it as a part of your income for right now, don't forget that studios and 1-bedroom apartments are usually not a good idea for investment. Yes, they might be cheaper, but it's not a good idea for investing. Why? Because studios and 1-bedroom apartments are too similar to the hotels and apart hotels. There's not going to be a big of a difference, and one family, like 2, 3, up to 4 people, will almost always prefer apart hotels or hotel rooms, simply because they can all fit in and because it has a lot of other services that are included in the same price that you're paying for the accommodation. On contrary, if you choose starting from 2-bedroom apartments, which is the ideal thing, 2-bedroom apartment, this is when slightly bigger families will start choosing it. For them to have 2 rooms in a hotel will be really expensive. So what they will be doing is they're going to be choosing apartments instead. And if yours has everything they need, this will be their place of choice for staying here in Benidorm town. Basically, this is how it works. For those of you who do not know the Levante Beach, I'm sure a lot of you know it by now, but for all those of you who do not, this is the most popular area for international tourism, even for Spanish one. This is the busiest area in whole entire Benidorm, probably in summer season. Even right now in mid-October, officially we are, look at this. there's still quite a lot of people on the beach. Even the paid sunbeds are still on and are being occupied, quite common. There's still water pedals in front as a part of water activities, paid ones, but still water activities. A lot of people on the beach. It's 30 degrees outside. There's a lot of different restaurants, bars and cafeterias in this area for different budget options, menu options, a la carte, lovely hotels. Who knows, maybe you would want to work here somewhere in Benidorm, and if you want to work in the tourism industry, this is where it's the best place to come. Take into consideration that this is an extremely touristic area, so buying a property, an apartment that is right on the first floor. Here in Spain, this that you see, the bottom floor, is not the first one. This is a ground floor, or also called floor zero. So all the apartments usually start from the first floor, as you can see in a lot of these buildings right here. And the most important thing to know is that the closer you'll be to the ground here on the Levante Beach, especially if it's the first or the second line from the beach, you will have a lot of businesses around you. Some of them might be closing earlier, others later. And you will also have a lot of people wandering around. Throughout every single time of the day, you will have people here. And this is what's actually going on right now. There's going to be a lot of movement. There's a lot of typical fiestas that are celebrated here in Benidorm that will be happening here on the Levante Beach. So be ready for some noise. If, oh, there's even an ambulance. Is it? Yeah. Oh, God, I hate these things. Look at that. See? You need to be always careful, even if you are on holidays here in Benidorm. So what we're saying is that first, second, third floor apartments are great, are good. Maybe you won't have such a perfect view, you know, as you might expect, but still you will be close to the beach. Those of you who want slightly better view need to get higher floor apartments, because from there you will be able to enjoy all this beauty right here. Oh my goodness, it's full. Just look at that. This is absolutely insane. This is insane. Wow. Let's see how much do the apartments cost. First of all, you'll have a view here on the screen. There are second, third line, some studios, some options that are not directly located here on the Levante Beach, so that you could see which other options there are. Because don't forget that up until third line, it is still counted as the Playa de Levante zone. Whenever you will purchase an apartment, you will be told that it's in this area, but it doesn't mean it's exactly right here. And then we'll see those that are privileged locations that are situated in a couple of these buildings. Actually, one of them is in this building right here, and I'll show it to you in a couple of seconds. Let's start with the second line apartments. One bedroom, 35 square meters, 10th floor on the Avenue Ametla del Mar that connects Rincon de Loix with the Levante Beach, costs 129,600 euros. Not bad, right? Studio, 40 square meters, 9th floor, quite high up, Mediterranean Avenue, great place, 159,000 euros. And now on the front line of the beach, first line of the Levante Beach, attention, 2 bedrooms, 37 square meters, really small bedrooms by the way, 3rd floor with elevator, 232,995 euros. Followed by 1 bedroom apartment. The cheapest one here that I found was on the 25th floor, gorgeous views by the way, 239,000 euros. 4 bedroom apartments, 102 square meters, 2nd floor, that's one of these like small buildings like these ones here, 249,800 euros. And 3 bedroom apartments can be seen here of 80 square meters, 4th floor, for example, 295,000 euros. The most expensive apartment that we found costs 1,515,000 euros. 3 bedrooms, 217 square meters, 4th floor, and it's absolute luxury. 1,060,000 won, 5 bedrooms, 400 square meters, and attic. Look at this, there's a mojito cellar right there. My goodness, I cannot believe we've managed to see him. Look at this. He's right there, right where the water pedals are. Oh wow, they're still here. They were supposed to be gone, but they're still here, as you can see. So you were able to see how much do the different apartment options cost here in Rincon de Loix, here right on the Levante Beach, and in general the Playa de Levante, famous place for all those of you who want to stay on the sunshine. And what should you, better to say, pay for an apartment if you want to use it as an investment? Totally. First of all, bear in mind that Benidorm is supposed to be one of the few places here in Costa Blanca that has tourists all year long, and here investing in a property is the best decision that you can do. Not even Alicante, Altea or any other areas will result as profitable as here in Benidorm, right next to all the main tourist attractions and next to the beach. Which is why even if you buy a property here in all these houses, you need to be really careful. You need to check, first of all, if all the people around you are property owners, if they are renting it, if it's a short-term rent, to avoid unnecessary surprises. This is usually what the real estate company is doing. They're checking the background of the apartment, they're checking the background of all the neighbors that you will have potentially, to let you know if it's actually worth spending money on this type of property, which is actually what we are doing. Whenever we search for properties here in Benidorm, we always check the background, because if you want it for a whole entire year, it doesn't make any sense to purchase a property right where all the tourists are. See a heat stroke. This is what I say. Oh my goodness, I hope she's all right. I really hope she's okay. This is what's happening when you go without the sun hat. You don't use any kind of, you know, protection from the sun. Don't drink a lot of water. That's what it is. Which is why we always tell you, take necessary precautions. It's October month, but don't be fooled with it. It's still extremely hot out here in the area, which is basically what's happening a lot of the times. So you need to take extreme precaution for this. I hope she'll be okay. Well, if she is, so let's wish her the best thing. But that's why you need to be cautious with it, please, when you come here on holidays. So, getting back to our main theme, how much should you spend? And check it out really well. If you want, you can contact with us. We can do all the service with the search for the properties for sale for you. We'll check all the backgrounds, that you would be sure that if you want it as a tourist apartment, it will not be an issue for you later on. And if you want it for you to live the whole entire year round, obviously it's not guaranteed 100%, but at least you will have your property in a house, in a building that does not allow so many touristic apartments, or that doesn't have as many of them, at least for now. And it's not as common to rent it on short term in that particular apartment building. Usually, a couple of years ago, real estate agents were stating that the investment properties is great if you can find one for less than 100,000 euros, or at least for 100,000 euros. That was supposed to be a good price for the investment purposes, because like this, you pay a tiny bit if you have it, and with all the rentals short term, especially summer months, you will get it back in a couple of years time. You will make it profitable for you. That's how it usually works. If you save up this money, if you spend it, obviously not, but if you don't, that's how you can get it quite profitable. Up in today's day, I would state probably that 100,000 euros for an apartment here is extremely difficult, especially on the Levante Beach. So our advice would be to search something for up till 150,000. That's probably the best decision right now. Up until 150,000 euros, that's maximum, that's tops, unless you know that you will use this as your own home in the next year's time. Whenever you decide to retire, or whenever you decide to come here to live in Benidorm, or spend here at least quite a few months a year, and the rest you can continue renting it as a short-term accommodation. More than that, there are nice apartments for 200, 300,000 euros, 400, 500. There are, don't get me wrong, but is it worth spending this money if you want it only for investment? Probably not. If you want it for the income purposes, if you want it for yourself, then yes, that might be a good idea, because the months or years you will not be using it, it might be a good chance to recover and take back at least a tiny bit of this money. And a lot of these buildings right here, they do offer quite incredible opportunities for investment or purchasing the apartment right here on the Levante Beach, on the first, second or third line. Incredible place to live, and a lot of people more and more each time with years are trying to get here some nice property to wake up every morning and see the famous Levante Beach, or at least a tiny piece of it. One street from the Levante Beach and we are on the famous Mediterranean Avenue. This is where many people also try and choose their properties, especially on higher floors, simply because if it's a slightly higher floor like these buildings right here, even if it's directly not at the beach, you will still have quite a good price for these properties, and you will have a sea view without the necessity of spending a whole lot of money and staying on the Levante Beach directly. These properties out here are also very, very good for investing. I would say first, second, third line, even fourth line from the beach are still great for investment and for living too. The only thing is, be ready to have some noise in this area. If you don't care about it, that's perfectly fine, because like this you won't have any kind of issues at all. Oh my god, there's a whole lot of people here today, probably leaving. My god, wow. See, tourists are still arriving at this time of the year, so even if you decide to rent it out for winter and stay here in summer with yourselves, or vice versa, it doesn't matter, you will get people to rent these apartments in any case. On the Mediterranean Avenue, there's a lot of banks. For example, Santander. There's a lot of agencies that might help you to rent out your apartment, or you can also contact us and we will make sure, we will make all the cleaning, all the preparations, give the keys and bring you all the entire service if you want your apartment for a short-term rental for someone and you want a person of your choice here to be responsible about it. In general, Mediterranean Avenue is packed with different businesses, mostly bars, restaurants, cafeterias, clothing shops, excursions, etc. Pharmacies as well. However, right a couple streets away from here, in Rincon de Loix, slightly further away below these buildings, you have a private hospital, which is Hospital Ahmed Levante, in case you will have a private insurance here in Spain. There's also a health center that works with the social security, national health security system, that is just a couple of steps away from here. The police station right there near the Flash Hotel. And if you want to go to a supermarket, there are plenty of them right here on the Levante side, but the cheapest ones like Massimas, like for example Lidl, by the way, shortly will be here, just a couple of minutes, even walking you will be able to get there in Rincon de Loix, right next to the Hotel Meliá Benidorm. So there's plenty of spaces to shop if you want to buy something for yourself. while you are here in Benidorm, or while you live here permanently, for example. And all the rest are nice and cutesy things for tourists. Overall, if you're planning to retire here in Benidorm and you're looking for a property, this area is great. Another good one would be Poniente Beach. We will show it to you in future videos here on the channel as well. But just to let you know, both beach areas are incredible to live. Everything is close, and if you don't want to have a vehicle here, if you have mobility issues and can only walk some certain amount of time or kilometers, and you want it to be plain road, not with hills, as the upper Rincon de Loix, for example, might be, then this is the best place to come. Even right now in October, it's never ever gonna be empty. You won't need to be afraid of going out to the street and someone will be waiting for you to steal your things. No, the city center, as well as a lot of other places here in Benidorm, are extremely safe. There's police cars every now and then passing by. There is a public transport. The best part of living here on the Levante Beach is the wide selection of public transport. These are only buses, but still there are plenty. Number 4, number 3, number 2, number 10 that brings you to Altea and Albir. There's a lot of options with the bus to go wherever you want, even up until the shopping mall and Carrefour shop, which is bus number 3, passing through the Poniente Beach. That's also a great option for you guys. And apart from that, the markets. Here on the Levante part, there is one market. It's the famous Sundays and Wednesdays market that we've showed you here on the channel a whole lot of times. That is available for you guys, and it's only walking distance from the Levante Beach. Comfortable straight road without no bumps, no ups and downs and hills, so anyone can basically access it. And obviously supermarkets for meat, fish, etc. are also available right here nearby. And the brand new Lidl will be here just probably in a couple of months' time, if not sooner. That's something that we've been waiting for a really long time already. Simply because we know a lot of people are coming on self-catering or are coming here to spend winter months and they're really looking forward to have a supermarket that they know, that they love, that they might trust in, and that wouldn't leave them without any single penny here in Spain. And this is what Lidl is actually about. So this is what the Levante Beach has to offer. There are some nice opportunities, some nice options. Prices actually surprised me, and I thought they were getting quite more expensive. But the great news is that prices seem to stabilize lately. Let's hope it's going to be the case. Let's hope it's continue like this, because less and less people were planning on purchasing, more for renting or rental with possible purchase option in the future. But right now, while the prices are stabilizing, maybe more people will decide to make a move right now and purchase the property here in Spain. Don't get me wrong, even now, when there's slightly less people purchasing, still a lot of people from abroad do decide to invest the money in the properties here in Benidorm town. So it's still a good moment. Depends for what you actually need your property for. I hope you enjoyed today's video about the properties on the Levante Beach and the second line of the Levante Beach, which is the Mediterranean Avenue. And you got to see for how much you could potentially buy a property if you would like to retire here in Spain someday, or if you just simply want to change life and come here to live forever and find your forever home. If you have any questions, if you want to search for a property here, remember that you have our official website for immigration company that we have, which is this one right here. You also have the email and a WhatsApp for consultations in case you need something. Thank you for accompanying us today. It's so hot in Benidorm, it's 30 degrees outside. We went just a couple of minutes on the sunshine and we already have like red cheeks out here, so the sun is still shining. You've seen it. Be careful if you come on holidays. And we'll see each other already tomorrow with the latest news update from Benidorm town. Don't miss it, it's gonna be interesting. Bye, D's.